Welcome to Meet Your Neighbor, the podcast that highlights the people and stories that make Westbrook Village a truly exceptional community. I'm your host, Steve Marilla, local realtor, neighbor, and proud member of this vibrant community. Each episode, we sit down with residents to learn about their careers, life experiences, and what brought them to Westbrook Village. It's a chance to connect, share, and celebrate the unique journeys that shape our neighborhood. Thanks for tuning in. And now, let's meet your neighbor. This episode features my good friend, Mike Barnett, a proud Westbrook Village resident with a remarkable story. Growing up near Seattle, Mike found himself on an unexpected path to the Marine Corps, thanks in part to a judge who helped steer his career. After serving his country, Mike built a successful career in the bakery industry. Known for his warmth and dedication, Mike has also been a key part of the Westbrook Village community. Tune in to hear his journey from pies to patriotism and how he continues to make an impact right here at home. Now let's meet your neighbor. Hi Mike, how are you?
I'm good today.
Super. Are you good most days?
Most days I'm off and on. Some
Off and
good,
on?
some bad.
Some good.
When you're 87, you get nicks and cuts and bruises.
Oh, I bet. 87. Wow, I can't wait. Well, I want to jump right into, I know you were in the Marines. How'd you end up in the Marines?
Well, in my school days, I did real good in school till I got about 15. I wanted to drive cars as everybody 15 does.
Right.
So I hooked up with a buddy of mine who became a national drag race champion. Anyway, we thought we were drag race champions. We ended up buying cars that would go fast with no brakes and no bad tires. But so we would race a lot with people around and with each other. And we get the judge. We were before the judge too many times. And one time he said, "You guys been here 5 times, I'm sorry." He said, "You got two choices, $500 fine or join the Marines." We looked at our parents and they both said, "Where do we sign? You guys are out of here."
Really? So
And away we went.
Did you guys go through basic training together?
We went through, we were in the buddy system. We went through basic, we went to Pendleton. And at the end of that, our buddy system split up. Jerry stayed in California and got into more racing.
Yeah.
I got set to Hawaii, became a mortarman and in the infantry until I was able to get another job. I was a staff car driver for
really?
half a year or a year.
Okay.
And then from there, I never saw Jerry again until after I got out. And Seattle had a drag race strip called SIR. And I went up there to see him, and he was driving a funny car by then. He had a sponsor.
Really? So did he stay in California, or did he go back to Seattle?
Well, he went back to the Northwest because they opened that big track there, and he could get sponsorship, and he was becoming famous, and he says, "We're going to take this trip. We're going on the road with a big group."
Really?
And he says, "I want you on my team." Well, by then I had a wife and a little girl, so I wasn't going.
You weren't going. You had to be responsible.
So
you were back home from, did you do 4 years?
I did 4 years in the Marines and then got out, and my dad was in the pie business. That's who I did as a kid, helped Dad in his own pie bakery. And eventually he sold out to a bigger outfit in Seattle.
Yeah.
So he took me there, and they didn't need anybody, but he took me to the Union Hall where I was offered 2 different bread companies jobs. So my dad said, "Well, go this one. He's been there longer."
Yeah.
It was Buchan's bread, which later became Oro wheat bread. Anyway, I got on the wrapping machine, and I didn't like that. And in the meantime, where my dad was, some of the owners passed away, and the son, who was a vacation driver, became part owner.
Oh, really?
So he said, "I need a vacation driver." So I left.
So what's a vacation driver? So anytime somebody goes on vacation, you drive for them?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so they brought me there, and I rode the routes. I learned different routes, and the guy says, "Well, when vacations are over, I'm going to probably have to let you go in October."
Really?
I was there 14 years.
Oh, wow.
I drove all the vacation. Then I got my own route, they would hire a school teacher for my route, and then I would do vacations again because I like going around meeting all the people.
Yeah, you like talking to people. I mean,
Yeah.
that must have been fun for you going. So you're going into all the grocery stores in the Northwest?
No, it was all restaurants.
Oh,
and stuff.
restaurants at that
Yeah,
time. Okay.
Yeah. They had about 20-some trucks, and they did real well. They bought out another bakery, and so they had all pies, donuts, and butter horns, everything, even wedding cakes you
Really?
could sell.
So I want to backtrack just a little bit on the pies. So my wife said you were making pies when you were a kid, or have you always been into pastry?
Well, I didn't make many because when I was a kid, I was too young, but we would peel the fruit and do all that with the fruit.
Oh, okay.
And my dad would on the truck, or he would be working inside.
Oh, okay.
So
Gotcha.
I never did bake, even though I went to that other company. I never baked. My one brother worked inside, but I was always out selling.
Okay. So how long did you work your route? You were working a route for how many years? 14 years?
14 years I was there, and then they merged with another pie company, and then they moved to another building, and it didn't fit my atmosphere.
Okay.
But when I got to be a sales manager of that pie company.
Oh, really? Huh.
And I knew all the people, so Orwee bread people would take my pies where my trucks wouldn't go.
Oh, really? Oh, nice.
So I knew a lot of people. So
Sure.
when I wasn't happy at the pie company, I went to Orwee, and they said, "Well, you know so many people. We're going to hire you as a cold call guy,
Okay.
and we want to get into the restaurant part. We're in all the groceries. We want
Sure.
to get in."
Okay.
So they hired me there for.
To get into all the restaurants.
Yeah, so then
Okay.
we picked up so many restaurants. Another guy and I,
Yeah.
they put on a restaurant division,
Oh, really?
and then they put me in charge of the restaurant division.
Oh, that's awesome. I
Yeah.
mean, but you had to be. Were you a natural fit for sales? You just love talking to people.
I guess so. And, I always enjoyed people.
Yeah.
That's what I like about Westbrook too, is people.
Did you? So I remember that. So who were you working for when you started selling to Costco?
I was with Orwee Bread. but
Okay.
Before that, the regional manager got promotion, and they transferred me to Denver because they bought a bakery in Denver that was mostly restaurants
Oh.
and deli business.
Okay.
So I was there 6 years. Then my boss in Seattle, Orwee, got promoted to sales manager. He wanted me back.
Okay. So then.
So my wife at the time, we were just about ready, my second wife, to get married. So we
Okay.
went back. We had grandkids, so she says, we better get married now that we got grandkids.
Oh, sure. Yeah. You better settle down.
So I became what they call a key account manager.
Okay.
So I had not too much to do with restaurants anymore. I had people that were calling on
Big chains or.
big chains, yeah, QSC and Fred Meyer and Safeway. So they gave me the Safeway, and I did that for 4 or 5 years. And then Costco came to town, and my boss knew Costco from California. There was the guys that
Okay.
had the same business in California started Costco.
Oh, okay.
It was John Senegal.
Okay.
Anyway, I went down there. He said, "Go see what these people want." So I
Sure.
went down there, and they says, "Well, we don't want 6 muffins. We want 12. We don't want 10 dinner rolls. We want 20. We want 2 loaves in every bag."
Sure.
Well, I went back and told my boss that. He says, "Well, we do everything automatic. We can't be
Oh,
doing
sure.
that."
So you'd have to put in a new line to.
Yeah. So
Sure.
what we did was, he says, "Well, do it by hand and see how they do."
Okay.
And from that day on, whenever they start opening all these stores, it got bigger and bigger and bigger.
Right.
And another thing they did, they used to have a hot dog cart out front, kind of like Home Depot.
Yep.
So they decided to start doing more hot dogs.
Oh, okay.
So they wanted a special bun. So my boss says, "Well, we can't make that bun." So we got another little bakery to make it for us.
Oh, okay.
And
And then you provided the buns for the hot dogs out in front too. Then.
yeah, and
Huh.
then as they got bigger, they they went inside with these restaurants like you
Yeah.
see now.
Yeah.
Same
Huh.
price as it was back in '89.
Yeah, that's
It's amazing. You know, I started them when they were, let's see, early '80s, I think. I
Really?
don't remember the date, but went to every opening they had in the Northwest for 8 years.
for 8 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet you they were opening up a lot during that period.
Well,
Jeez.
the hot dogs got so big, we would put three 8-packs in one big bag.
Really?
And put it on the shelf. If it didn't sell on the shelf, then we would give it to the restaurants, and they could
Oh,
always
then they just
get rid
move
of
it in?
Yeah.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
That's a secret. Nobody should really know.
No,
all
we
that.
shouldn't. We won't talk about that. So, did you have a favorite? Did you have a favorite customer or moment during your career that you really say that was really fulfilling for me, or something really
Well,
cool?
when I was in Denver, I had the Albertson account, and I got to know a lot of those district managers, and the competition was eating us up. But
Yeah.
little by little, we gained space in the grocery stores.
Sure.
But the funniest thing that happened, one of their district managers got promoted to general manager, Seattle, for all Albertsons.
Oh, really?
And that was about the same time I got transferred back to Seattle.
Oh, so that was good
So-
timing.
Yeah, so my boss says, well, I want you to have Safeway here. I don't want you to have Albertsons. But every time we came out with a new item and wanted space, I would go with the Albertson guy to the store and talk to Kurt.
Sure.
And he'd say, what do you want here now? You know?
Right. Well, that had to be interesting. I find I've sold into grocery stores before, and man, the shelf space is valuable. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just you have a little money maker, and they just keep filling it for you if you can
Yeah.
get in there.
It's all space and position.
Yeah.
And what we tried to do was be by the private label.
Okay.
You know, they have their own store stuff, and
Yep.
we'd put Oro wheat as close to them as we could get.
And that was your
You didn't want to
strategy?
be real low, and you didn't want to be real high, and you didn't want to be first
Okay.
as you come into the line.
Oh, I never thought of the first
Yeah.
in the line because you walk right by it.
Right.
Right.
So that
Huh.
it took a while. I finally got control of the Safeway schematic. If you
Okay.
had the schematic, then you'd go in and get new items authorized.
Sure. Yeah. Huh, that's interesting. So then what made you retire? I mean, you just got,
Well,
'cause it seems like you should still be working. I think you
yeah.
still can
Well,
contribute.
I got doing so well with Costco and other things that we were owned by Kraft,
Oh, okay.
and Kraft is owned by Philip Morris.
Oh, okay.
You know, and so at a point in time, Kraft wasn't making enough money off the bread.
Oh, okay.
Their percentage was lower. now.
Sure.
So they sold the baking division to the Best Food Mayonnaise people.
Oh, huh.
So the human resource guy came to me at 57 years old and said, do you want to retire early? And I said, well, I planned on working till 60 anyway to
Sure.
get 90% of whatever the plan was.
Yeah.
He says, don't worry about that. I'm leaving too, and we'll get you a package.
Oh, nice.
And the package was a year's pay, unemployment, 300,000 cash,
Wow.
and you can pay off the lease on your company car when you
And-
can have it.
Well, that was a good deal. So you've been retired for 30 years?
Yep. I've been in Westbrook 30 years.
30 years. So let's talk about Westbrook. How has Westbrook changed over the 30 years?
Well, it's gotten younger,
Yeah.
and I was on the recreation committee for 7 years, so I was involved with a lot of things that happened for recreation,
Sure.
i.e. pickleball.
I.e. pickleball. When did pickleball start?
It probably started 12, 15 years ago.
Huh.
We had temporary nets and blue tape on the
Blue tape?
yeah,
Wow.
and all that going on. What I did was represent bocce ball, pool hall, tennis, pickleball. So I had to keep all those people happy, and in the meantime, we wanted more courts for pickleball.
For pickleball.
Everywhere. And they went back and forth, but the numbers started growing so high.
Sure.
Finally, one day at the meeting, Mike Green, who was chairman of the pickleball, says, we got to do something with this arguing with tennis. I says, well, then let's make the 4 tennis courts over there as good as we can.
Sure.
And take it from there. So that's what they did. And then one day Mike Green says, from now on, it'll be all tennis on phase 1 and all pickleball in phase 2.
And then you start building out courts?
Well, then we got money to make the 2 courts into 8 on the west side.
Oh, nice.
And we redid the stadium court and the court on the east side.
Okay.
And we could have made them bigger, but it would have cost a lot more to change the footprint.
Sure.
So we used the existing footprint so we could get it going faster.
Sure.
Because there's no nets between courts.
Right. But you have to be happy with how it ended up. I mean.
Oh, yeah. People are, now there's almost 500 members.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's such a popular sport. And I can't believe how it's evolved and how many young people are doing it nowadays.
Well, yeah, it started out with mostly guys like I was 60 or something when we started, and now the younger people are coming in and they're much more agile and faster and stronger.
But you still play. How many days a week are you playing right now?
I play at least 4 days a week.
4 days a week?
But I play with the novice because I've got spine problems, and so I can't turn my neck like I used to.
Huh.
And it affects my left leg.
But
I have a good time, and the people over there are getting better and better, but they don't want to move to the intermediate side.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Why is that?
Well, they're just happy.
Sure. Yeah, they're happy with the games they're getting, and they don't need to move up. Yeah, I'm always shocked. I'll play with some novices, and I'm like, some of the shots they get to and get, I mean, they're still great pickleball players, even though they're not, maybe they can't move as well or they're just starting out. Yeah, was Lily, Lily got mentioned today in another podcast of mine. Was she part of the founding group of pickleball players?
What was the name?
Lily? Is it Lily or Liz? Liz.
Liz Loggy.
Yeah, Liz. Was she a big part of the group?
Yeah, she was there, and Ken and Maria.
Okay.
And I'm in trouble with the names, but there was another, Diane Dorsal and her husband.
Oh, okay.
So there were actually 10 people.
10 people that started pickleball in Westbrook?
Yeah.
God, you have to be pretty proud of that. Have all those courts. And
to see why it developed by being on the rec committee and seeing how it improved the game for Westbrook.
Sure, yeah.
We got the mats for the walls and really care about safety as well as everything else.
Well, and Westbrook adds so much to, or pickleball adds so much to Westbrook. I mean, I was asking Casey the other day, I was like, where's the best place to play pickleball? What community is the best to live in to play pickleball? Because I can't imagine a lot better than Westbrook. I mean, we have to be one of the top communities for pickleball, don't you think?
Well, I feel it is because of 16 courts for the amount of homes we have.
Sure, yeah.
It's ideal because you always can find a game.
Yep.
And you always can find your level to play.
Yeah, it's amazing on a Saturday morning or certain mornings that every single court is full and people are waiting to play.
Yeah.
Friday mornings especially.
And we do have a lot of snowbirds too. Even over in Novice, there's several ladies from Canada.
Really?
So they're getting ready to leave. So that's gonna
free up a little room.
Space. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I love playing pickleball there. I remember getting kicked off the courts because I wasn't a member back in the day when you guys were strict. Yeah, before I knew the rules. I mean, there's rules everywhere. Now we have to have a wristband on.
Yeah, that's. Well, there's some people that don't like pickleball, so they think we're too powerful.
Right. Well, I don't know. I don't see how anyone. Well, does anybody ever complain about the noise from the balls? I mean, I can't imagine.
Only if you live over on by the 18th hole over there, but
Right.
I know people that do live and they don't complain. So
Yeah. I mean, you don't notice it. It kind of just goes out of your mind. And people aren't playing all day.
the people that would complain are people at the swimming pool, and I never hear much.
Yeah, you kind of run the swimming pool too, don't you? I mean,
I go every day.
Yeah. So what's your daily workout routine? Because you seem very regimented on your workout.
Well, I exercise in the mornings after I have my smoothie. I do squats and push-ups and stretches, and then I go to pickleball.
Then you go to pickleball?
Go to pickleball, come home, have something more to eat, take a little nap, go to the gym about 2:30
Yeah.
or 3, and then I go in the hot tub and see my group.
Your group where you solve all the world problems?
Yeah. Yeah, you learn how to save money or lose money.
Right. Yeah.
And then I swim. I go home, it's 5 o'clock.
Yeah. Well, that's a pretty active day. You stay really active. Is there so you grew up in Seattle, right? So is there foods here that you can't get that you liked in Seattle?
Well,
I suppose fresh.
I'm a big fish eater,
Okay.
but in Seattle, you would catch your own and dig your own clams and do all that. But I found I can find good codfish and salmon
Okay,
here.
you can.
Because it's at most stores are pretty good
fresh.
about fresh stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that had to be kind of a culture shock coming from Washington to the desert.
Yeah. Well, I go there in the summers. One of my brothers lives in a place called Squim, Washington, and he had 2-3 crab pots, and his buddy had 2 or 3. You were allowed one for you, one for your wife, and we would get fresh Dungeness crab.
What?
3 days a week.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I was renting a house when I didn't have my motorhome over there. I was renting a house, and I'd go dig. We would dig clams on Tuesday for bait,
Yeah.
and then we put the pots out Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
Yeah.
and then you had to bring them in on Saturday.
And then you had crab for the weekend.
all kinds of crab.
Huh. Big parties with the crab.
Yeah. My brother used to get so much. His son-in-law, one of his daughter's husband, was a big wheel running for office in the Teamsters. He'd give him crab, and they'd have people over so he could get votes. And
Oh, really? Yeah.
and he's way up high in the Teamsters. I don't
Oh, really?
know unless the crab did it.
All thanks to the crab.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you don't golf anymore? You used to be quite a golfer.
The
weren't
reason
you?
I bought in Westbrook is for golf.
Is it?
'Cause I was like a 12 handicap.
Oh, really? That's a good handicap
For
to make
years,
some money.
I played a lot of golf, and being they had 2 courses and they were in good shape, and I got there in '95, and the membership was $7,000, and
Oh,
I
really?
had to borrow from my mom because I hadn't sold my Seattle house. And I
Oh.
bought a membership
You did.
from the guy who I bought the house from.
Oh, okay.
So I would play at least 4 times a week,
Huh.
all the time.
What brought you to Westbrook? How'd you find Westbrook?
I found Westbrook because a lady that my wife grew up with and her families played bridge together was renting there.
Oh, okay.
And we were on the road. This is with my second wife. We were on the road in the summers, and so she had us come to Westbrook and rent with her.
Okay.
And we liked it. And then when I found out I was going to retire early, this lady in the meantime had bought a place, and we rented her place.
Oh, convenient.
And we started. My wife stayed, and I went home, and then she, the realtor said to her, "Well, you're here with your friend helping her get a place. What do you want?" She said, "Oh, my husband's going to retire in a few years. He wants a house on the golf course." So he takes him over and shows him the house I have now.
Yep.
And she liked it, but I was away from retiring, so we
Yeah.
started dickering with the guy. We'll buy it and rent it till I retire. Well, just before closing on that house, the guy backed out.
Oh, really?
So a year or so later, we're in Westbrook renting her friend's casita.
Yep.
And I said, "Where's that house? I never saw it that we almost bought."
Right.
So we go over there, and the guy's in the yard, and I says, "Hello, this is the guy almost bought your house." He says, "You still want it?"
Really?
He changed his mind.
Changed
First,
his
he was
mind
going to
again?
sell it all furnished.
Oh, really?
This time he says, "I got to move to a double wide. I got problems." Blah.
Yeah.
He says, "I'll sell it unfurnished." So we got with the realtor
And did
and
the
bought
deal.
that house for $185.
Oh, wow. You're
Yeah.
sitting good on that. The
Yeah.
house you're currently in right now on
Yeah.
hole number 7?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we're on the green at number 7. Beautiful view of the sunsets. If you
Yeah.
remember last weekend seeing those sunsets.
Oh, yeah. You didn't happen to see the rocket go off the other night, a couple weeks ago on a Monday night?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, it was SpaceX. A big rocket went. It just lit up the whole sky. It was crazy. I thought it was
Wish
an
I'd have known
alien.
that. I'd have been out there looking.
Yeah,
I
should-
missed that eclipse thing too.
Did
couple
ya?
Nights ago.
So because you have a group of people you get together with for pizza on Tuesdays. How did that ever get started?
That started with my birthday 3 years ago.
3 years ago?
It was Mike's Pizza Party. Come
Okay.
on Tuesday to the Grande Pizza.
Okay, and you and then it just kept going
Every
just
Tuesday,
about every Tuesday.
all these years, yeah.
Wow,
And
that's
then
awesome.
The Patty takes a picture of us.
Yeah,
and
Patty
it puts it-
Sutherland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Puts it on Facebook.
That's
So
cool.
I've had people say, when I come to Westbrook, or even if I come to Phoenix, I'm going to come to that pizza party.
Huh?
And people show up on
I know.
Tuesday.
I've shown up a couple of times. I can't go every Tuesday because I
Yeah.
still work. But yeah, it's a good group of people too.
Yeah, it's always a mixture, and you learn things. And Patty now has a theme.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So
like last week it was Panda Bear, so you're supposed to wear black and white clothes.
well, who does she tell? Where did she post this?
Everybody that's the regulars,
Okay, the regulars
she has a
email.
email, and
Oh, so if
said-
I go, I better check in with her to see what the theme is.
yeah,
just
you
to
want to
make
be
sure.
dressed properly.
Yeah, I don't want to screw up the whole
A couple
theme.
of weeks ago, it was bring your favorite tool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, somebody.
Why
brought
didn't you
a
bring
little-
me?
I brought a remote from my TV.
Did you?
And a screwdriver.
And a screwdriver?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have brought a bottle opener. That would have been a good one. Well, hey, we're at our limit for time already.
Really?
Can you believe how fast it goes by?
Yeah.
Sitting here and BSing. Hey, I really appreciate it, and I really thank you for coming out and talking to me like we
Yeah.
normally do it.
Well, I want to know more about how I can get on and listen. And so
Yeah,
does
absolutely.
A lot of people ask me.
Absolutely, I'll get it all to you. The other day I was at a coffee shop talking to just having a little meeting, and I was leaving, and I saw some Westbrook people. I didn't really recognize them, and one of the guys said to me, he goes, "Oh, I know you. I didn't recognize you with your shirt on." So then you know it's the hot tub group.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many different people. If it's a pickleball group without a visor, you don't know who they are. You know, it's funny how you don't recognize all these people that you're friends with and have deep conversations with. So I like doing this, getting it on tape and putting out there so people know your story. So I really appreciate it.
All right.
All right.
Glad to
Thank you.
help.
Thank you very much. Thank you for listening to the Meet Your Neighbor podcast. If you enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And feel free to share this podcast with your friends and fellow neighbors. Until next time, take care and keep connecting.